Today's segment of The Wall, where I introduce you to one of these lovely humans on the wall of my office. Reason they are there in the first place is that at one point they reminded me to be more than I am. So I want to introduce them to you so they can hopefully have the same effect. So one person I want to introduce, I guarantee that a majority of you people will not know this man, but you need to know this man. He's amazing. His name, he's actually like way back here, hidden in the corner here. But his name's David Weidman, and I actually met him. He was I went on a mission trip for my church in 2012, so a little bit ago, and he was actually the president of that mission, and so he kind of helped us as missionaries. There's a half service, half proselyting. Anyway, he was amazing. But when he came in, so I served for 18 months. When he came in, I'd already been there for a year, and so I had already had I was already under somebody else's leadership. So he came in and he was really cool, and he took the time to get to meet and like have a conversation with every single person. Now, there were like 250 missionaries. Like, you have to recognize the time that took. But when we sat down, he's like, "Hey, Sister Jones, like super excited to meet you. Like, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Like, tell me where you're from, all these things." So he goes, "Listen, I recognize that you probably know a lot more than me because you have simply been here longer. You've been in the trenches longer. And I would love to hear everything that you feel needs to change in what's happening here in the mission." Now, as a brief pause, this man, he is brilliant. He was the CEO of this huge chemical producing company. Like, you can go look him up online. Like, his salary is posted online. That's how you know. Like, he has done legit amazing things. It was like this huge deal when he stepped down from this position to like actually come serve for a church and be this president. So like, if anybody should not be asking me for advice, it's him. Anyway, so he's like, "What do you feel like needs to change? I like totally trust your opinion." So, you know, of course me, I'm like, "Oh, great." So I'm like, "This needs to change. I think this schedule's dumb, and I think the agenda of this meeting is like not productive whatsoever. And I think how we're doing this totally needs tweaks." I have like 6 things. And I remember when he asked me, being like, "Oh, how cool, like finally somebody's gonna like deal with this. Like finally someone's gonna take care of this." And so he listens, super patient, asks me a bunch of questions like, "What do you mean by that?" Like, blah, blah, blah. Asks me a ton of questions. And he's writing them all down. He like writes them down on a piece of paper. And then he like turns the paper and he pushes it back to me and he goes, "Okay, so will you take care of these?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, I would like to invite you to be the head on adjusting all of these things." And he's like, "I want to hear all your ideas. And if you think it will work best, cool, we'll start it. Done." And a lot of the things, like, he would have to call, like, our church headquarters in Salt Lake City. He's like, "If I need to call church headquarters, I'll call church headquarters. Like, why should we keep doing things that don't work?" And he's like, "And if you have ideas for how to make them better, it would literally be a disservice to everybody in the world not to do them." And he's like, "So will you take the head on these?" And I cannot, like, I hate to admit this, but I was just shocked. It was the first time in my life that I was like, oh my gosh. One, not only can I fix substantial legitimate problems? I was 21 years old at the time. Not only can I fix substantial legitimate problems, but 2, if I don't, then who will? Like I am just as responsible as every other human being to help fix things that maybe aren't as good as they should be. And just huge, like, just such love and admiration for this man, we call him President Weidman, because he helped me to see myself, I think for maybe one of the first times in my adult life, as somebody who could actually provide significant value. And it had just, like, truly, like, it had just never occurred to me that I would even be qualified enough to do that. And that he would, as this, like, amazingly successful person, like, instill such faith and trust in me to say, "Go take care of it. You got it. I'm with you 100% of the way." Absolutely transformed the way that my mind thought, and the way that I interacted with people, and the way I approached problems and situations. And so, anyway, huge shout out to President Weidman. Go look him up, David Weidman. He's amazing, and so grateful to have that lesson from him that ultimately I can solve and provide significant value.